Are you a newbie entrepreneur, solopreneur, side hustler, or small business owner? Do you want to learn how to build, launch, and grow your very own personal freedom success system? Well, congrats, because that's exactly what our podcast teaches. Let's get to it. Good morning and congratulations for taking the first step to solving your slow money blues. My name is Doug, retired U.S. Marine and two-time combat veteran turned entrepreneur at your service. Today's episode is Wealth Passport. If you have any questions, just visit slowmoneyblues.com and click on Ask or submit your questions on IG, Facebook, or Twitter using hashtag slowmoneyblues. Don't forget to follow, like, and share. If you've been rocking with us for any amount of time over the last 3 weeks, we have been talking about high yield investment platforms. It was a great series. It was a bad hip, a good hip, and a scam hip. So if you have not listened to those episodes, I highly encourage you to go back and listen to all 3 episodes. If you know anyone that's getting into the crypto space and looking particularly to invest in the high yield investment platform, I highly encourage that you share this with them. The information on those episodes are invaluable. What are we going to be talking about? 3 ways to obtain a wealth passport. However, before we get started, I have a question for you. Did you do last week's homework? Well, if you tuned into last week's show, which was Scam Hips, well, you did your homework. If you didn't, you can go and listen to the episode today, or you can watch it on YouTube. And of course, before we get started, one of my favorite parts of our show, if you're just tuning in for the very first time, is did you say your morning mantra? And if you didn't, let's say it right now. I state your full name, take 100% responsibility and accountability for my life and actions. I refuse to blame others. If I do, I give away all of my power, authority, and promises given to me by God. Man, I get wired up, fired up, and ready to go each and every time I say that, because the things we're in control of, we are in control of, and the things that we're not in control of, we are not. Today's sponsors are Linky.com, BigNetDomain.com, and Binance.us. To learn anything and everything about our great sponsors, just click on the show notes once the show goes live. But got to give a major shout out to BigNetDomain.com because they are killing the game right now. If you are suffering from a digital dilemma, what I want you to do is go over to BigNetDomain.com. They'll hook you up with a website, email marketing, e-commerce, search engine optimization, and so much more. By the way, if you use promo code BIGNET upon checkout, you receive a 10% savings. Oh, and it gets better. If you purchase a domain name today, they will give you hosting for 1 entire year free. And about our other sponsor, Linky.com, spelled LIINKY.com. If you want to see an example of that, you can go and sign up for a free account. If you want to get a paid account and you want to get a deep discount, use promo code LIINKY25. And on the annual plan, you'll get a 25% savings today. Awesome sauce. Here's today's question. Do you have a wealth passport? Yes, no, or Doug, what in the heck is that? I don't know what you're talking about. Well, I'm glad you're tuning in because guess what? You're going to find out exactly what a wealth passport is today. When Willow was a little girl, she would look up in the sky and notice planes flying. She told herself that when she grows up, she is going to go where those planes are flying to. By the time Willow turned 30 years old, she had visited all 7 continents 3 times and accumulated over 500,000 frequent flyer miles. Willow, that's amazing. Let's get personal. Willow did not realize that planes could take her to see so much and go so far. However, her curiosity and passion became her wealth passport. What about you? So let's jump right into the episode and the 3 ways to obtain a wealth passport. This is the first thing. Remember, Willow was a little girl and she would look up in the sky and she would notice all of these planes flying. Willow didn't have any reference point or idea as a 6-year-old girl with regard to where planes go to, or maybe even how they fly. But she knew they were going somewhere. So what is point number 1? Point number 1 is this: know your destination. We're talking about a wealth passport. So let me be very, very frank. I'm talking about money. Money. Know your destination. This is what I have discovered over the course of my life is that every human being that I've ever encountered will come in contact with this thing called money. And we know, unlike in times past, we don't barter. We actually, to purchase products, services, and goods, need to break out some form of currency, also known as money. Everything costs. There is an overhead in life that all of us will have while we are walking on the planet Earth. This is the only problem. Most people, and when I say most people, 95% of the people don't know the destination. And what am I really saying? They don't know the cost to fund their life. Therefore, they will never get to their destination. Remember, Willow, because she was 6 years old and she could see the planes and she knew they were going somewhere because of her limited experience and her limited education, Willow didn't know the destination of the plane. She was just curious enough to say to herself, when I get older, I'm going to go where those planes are going. Well, if you're not 6 years old and you don't know the destination for this thing called money, like what does it cost to fund my lifestyle? You're just like Willow, a 6-year-old little girl with this enormous amount of curiosity, wanting to go someplace, but not knowing the place you're trying to go to because you've never figured out the destination. So I'm gonna break it down for you, Barney style. I don't know what your lifestyle is or your money destination is, but if I were you, I would figure it out like my freedom depended on it. Remember, I am your freedom advisor. I am not your wealth advisor. I am not your financial planner. I am your freedom advisor. And as your freedom advisor, it is incumbent upon me to tell you, unlike Willow, and as a full-grown adult who comes in contact with money every day, you need to know your money destination if you want to get your wealth passport. So the question is this: is it $20,000 a month? Is it $30,000 a month? Is it $50,000 a month? Is it $1 million a year? That is up to you. Point number 2, know the cost. Now, when you're planning to go on travel, right, or go on vacation, or, maybe it's a staycation, whatever the destination may be, there is going to be a cost associated with it. So let's go back and look at Willow. Willow just said, I see these planes in the sky. It's really cool. I want to go where they are when I'm older. She did not know what the cost was. Many of us as full-grown adults, we don't even know what the cost is, but we know there is a cost. When we go to a restaurant, and now because we know we live in this high-tech, high-touch world, we can pull up our mobile device. We can look at almost any map application, and many of the business owners and restaurateurs on there, they have a menu, and you can see what the cost of something like that is, right? And for the most part, they remain steady. However, when you're traveling, prices don't stay so steady because it's really predicated upon this thing called supply and demand. When you are going on vacation, you are going to plan for your vacation. Many people don't just get up by the seat of their pants, particularly if they're leaving the country or if they're going on an extended vacation, and just go. Why? Because there's this thing called cost, and they want to know what the cost is, and the only way to know what the cost is to actually plan. I'm going to bring this home for you. If you do not have a financial plan, also known as a budget, guess what? You are not going to be able to get your wealth passport. Now, one of the things that I left out was this about Willow's story. Willow, although she was a 6-year-old little girl, and she used to look up in the sky, and she would see the planes flying, but she didn't know where they're going. I didn't tell you that her father was a pilot, and her father flew all over the place. And because of Willow's love for seeing where these planes were going, and her father being a pilot, she became enamored with traveling. because she was just, the planes was just so curious to her. And she's like, Dad, you actually fly all over the world? He was like, yeah, this is my job. And she was like, I want to do the same. But there was still a cost. And what was the cost? Well, the cost is whatever the cost is for you to travel. I don't know what your cost is, but I know what my cost is. And listen, if you want to have a wealth passport, you must not only know the destination, but you also must know the cost. Lastly, after you know your destination and after you know the cost of travel, guess what you have to do? Remember, Willow went to all 7 continents by the time she was 30 years old 3 times. Do you think she had a large travel budget? Absolutely. It was her lifestyle. So think of cost as like your lifestyle. Just like you have a destination, your destination, think of that as your annual overhead for life. Whether that's $1 million or $2 million or $100,000, you need to figure it out. Know the cost. Think about your cost as like a budget, which for the most part is going to be a monthly thing. And then lastly, you must begin the journey. You know the destination, you know the cost. Now we got to start the journey. So where do you begin? You begin by writing things down. And what are you writing down? You're writing down your ideas. You're writing down your curiosities. You're writing down your dreams. That is going to fuel you. And understand, although I said know your destination, the destination is not the journey. The journey is the destination. And you must begin that journey sooner than later. If you do not, you will not even begin to be like a little child again, like Willow, looking up in the sky and saying to yourself, you know what? Where are those planes going? And wherever they're going, I would like to go one day. What I want you to do, I want you to play out life and do it real big. So what are our takeaways from today's show? Great question. Your ideas, curiosity, and passion are the keys to access your wealth passport. Do you realize that my ideas and my curiosity and my passion cannot get you access to your wealth passport, but they can get me to my wealth passport? Remember last week, if you tuned in, or if you checked out the podcast later after we dropped it on Wednesday at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every week, I said I had a major announcement. So this is my major announcement. My team and I, because we are so enamored with cryptocurrency and we believe that it is miracle money, we are going to launch our own high yield investment platform. I want you all to stay tuned. Big shout out to all of my fans and listening audience over in France as well as the US. Continue to rock with us, and I promise you, you'll get access to all of the new things that we're actually doing. I'm super excited about this. What is your homework? Just tune in to next week's episode. What are we going to be talking about? Well, when you tune in, you'll find out. Until next time, I want you to continue to build, launch, and grow your very own personal freedom success. And I won't see you at the top, but guess what? I will see you over the top. Bye. There are 5 things you can do if you love the show. 1, tell anyone suffering from SMB to tune into the live show each Tuesday from 9:30 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Facebook. 2, follow, like, and share at Slow Money Blues on social media. 3, join our private Facebook group and get access to great resources. 4, subscribe, download, and rate the podcast. And 5, donate so we can keep bringing great content.